Hi, Fems. Happy Wednesday. I am Violette de Ayala. I'm the founder of FemCity, and you're joining us today for our Wednesday Wisdom Series. Today, we're going to talk about intuition in business and in planning. Our theme for the month is all about spirituality and connecting spirituality and business, meaning more soulful approaches, more connection to community, more purpose-driven activity when it comes to business. And so we are diving in today and talking about that intuition and business. If you're watching us live, we would love to hear from you. Please join us in the conversation. You can ask questions. You can just give us love also. We love that too. But we are here for you collectively. We in the green room, we talk about preparing and really wanting to be there for you. So that is where we are coming from today. I've asked these two beautiful FemCity Global members to join me today in the conversation. We have Hannah. Hannah, share a little bit about yourself, please.
Yeah, thanks, Violet. Thanks for asking me to join on today. My name is Hannah Wilson. I am a FemCity Global member. I am also the leader of the Midwest Virtual FemCity Collective. I'm located in Grinnell, Iowa, Central Iowa. I am a financial advisor, and I run a female-focused wealth management practice and help develop personalized strategies for women in transitional periods of their life to help them achieve their financial goals.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Hannah. And Hannah, by the way, had one of her most successful months. She just shared it with us on the virtual networking. So I just want to give her some love for that. Love hearing that. And we have Andrea, who also is one of our FemCity leaders. And this is her first time joining us in the global panel discussion. We're so excited that she's here with us. Andrea, share a little bit about yourself as well.
Thank you so much for having me, Violet. Yes, I'm a leader at the Toms River, New Jersey, local collective and a global now. So I'm happy to be here. I am a business coach, personal development coach, and a relationship coach. So I love so many areas. I kind of niched in 3 areas. I have a private practice. I do a lot of workshops, and I work at the school doing coaching as well.
Love that. Would help if I unmute myself. Love that so much. So let's go ahead and dive into the conversation today. So what is your favorite story, Hannah, when you've ever used intuition and business, that combination, or perhaps a story that you know of someone that you've worked with that's combined those two? And my intention in asking that question is, I know our femmes like to hear stories because we can envision ourselves as a character in that story, and then we can really see like how the power of intuition can work in business. So that's my intention in asking that question. What's a story that you can share with us today about the two?
Yeah, thanks for asking, Violet. And I'm so glad that you've asked us to share stories today, because the story I'm going to share is the story, my personal story of kind of blending intuition and business together. And it's one that I wish I would have been able to hear when I was going through some of the struggles that I was going to. So I love this opportunity to share on a platform that maybe I might be able to help someone in a similar position to what I was in, maybe kind of come out with a little bit of light on the other side. So my story kind of starts back in 2019 when I joined the financial services industry. It's a male-dominated industry, and so a lot of the playbooks that we're given are ones that are, created by men for men. And I really took those and I tried really, really hard to follow them, kind of exactly how things were laid out, exactly what people were telling me I should be doing and how I should be building a business and the ways I should be seeing success. And although it didn't necessarily feel good, I really pushed that feeling aside and I just kept going with these steps and these procedures. And 2020 was kind of an eye-opening year, I think, for me, like it was for a lot of people. And pandemic aside, I think I would have struggled the way that I did struggle because I wasn't listening to myself or being true to myself, building a business. And so really coming to a point of failure gave me the permission I needed to take a deep dive into what I was doing and what felt good to me and what didn't feel good to me, and really listen to my true self about how I wanted to build a business. And so I made a lot of shifts in the summer of last year. One of them was joining FemCity as my primary networking organization because it was a group of women who I truthfully felt like I connected with. And all of that just really truthfully, it changed my business. And now I've shared with FemCity before, I'm working on opening my own brick and mortar location in my community, and my business is doing better than it ever has, and truthfully better than I ever even imagined it could do.
It's It's amazing. And I love hearing, I had heard that story before, either through private conversation with you or through one of these panel discussions, but I love that story so much. I was thinking as I was listening to you, when I started FemCity, people thought I was crazy because I went from running a very successful PR and marketing agency that was specializing in environmental initiatives here in Miami. So I had the City of Miami Mayor's Office as an account. I had done some PR for World Wildlife Fund, and starting FemCity, people thought I was crazy, and I went with my gut. I totally let go of all my clients, went totally right into FemCity, which I advise people to definitely do both until you jump ship. But lesson learned now. But that to me, my intuition just pulling me. I can't even imagine not doing the work that I do with FemCity. So the intuition was definitely the start for all of us coming together. So I loved, I love that memory. Let's go to Andrea, share a little bit about a story that either you have personally gone through when you've used intuition, or perhaps as a client of yours or someone that so that we can really see a true example of how powerful intuition can be in business.
Okay. I was going to do a personal story as well, but I'm changing it because Hannah just did such a wonderful job and you shared your story. So I'm going to just use an example of intuition because I love the word and it's my superpower, motivation, intuition. So I'm just going to, something popped up, just a story where my intuition put me in this position. So it's shorter and sweet. I was driving home from work one day recently, a few months ago, and I never go into restaurants or bars alone, but my intuition was telling me to go to this really nice restaurant nearby by myself. And I'm giggling as I'm pulling into the parking lot because I'm like, what am I doing? I don't really go to restaurants or any type of bars or restaurants alone. But I said, nope. It's telling me to go in, so go in. And I park and I walk in and I sit at the bar by myself. There's a little music, and that also is a little odd for me, but I'm like, nope, I'm supposed to be right here because it's like not a lot of people sit near people. And these two women came by and they looked at me and they're like, can we sit right here? I said, absolutely. So we're kind of on the corner of like a bar, and we're talking all of 5 minutes. And she asked me what my name was, and I tell her, and she goes, what do you do? And I said, I'm a business coach. And she goes, oh my God, I just looked you up yesterday. I need you so bad for my son trying to struggle with a career change or knowing what he wants to do as a young boy, like 23. She says, and I was going to call you today, and I was like thinking, is this really going to help him? I cannot believe you're sitting next to me. So we kind of exchanged informations. They called the next day, and I got this lovely son client out of it. And I told her that I do not know why I was there, but my intuition said I need to be here. Someone needs to meet me. And so I followed my intuition, and I met someone that's now in my life, and the client came and went, and we helped him out. And so I follow my intuition quite often. I'm really in tune with it. And this was just another quick example.
I love that story. Excellent example, both of you. All right. So at the end of the day, we love action steps. I'm always about, okay, so now what, right? Because we have some femmes that are like, okay, I heard both of those stories, actually all three stories. And now I want to start really using intuition in business, trying to figure out how to do that. So what's your best action step recommendation for those that are looking to connect intuition and business, that they seem to not really have that just yet? What tips or what tip can you give them so they can start really following that intuition when it comes to business? And let's go to Hannah.
For sure. So I am a huge believer in a solid business plan. And so that is where I personally would start. And I would take your feelings to your business plan. So it's amazing what your intuition can guide you to when you're looking at the strategic steps that you've put in place and the goals that you're looking to achieve. And so I would challenge everyone to review your business plan. If you don't currently have one, sit down and create a business plan. And we've got so many wonderful coaches in FemCity who can help you with that if that's something that you're new to, is creating a business plan for your business. And then I would revisit it on a frequent basis and constantly be asking yourself, how does this make me feel? So really think about, when I was doing this, this specific action last month, how did I feel while I was doing it? Who did that help connect me with? How do I feel about those people? Are those the people that I'm specifically looking to connect with? And so instead of just focusing on the numbers of the results that you're driving, really think about how those clients are making you feel and how those actions are making you feel. And then just reflect and continue to listen to yourself and your intuition through that whole process.
Love that. And Nikki Nova, one of our other FemCity Global members, years ago when I was trying to develop my intuition, she would say it's a muscle that you need to strengthen. So just starting with that exercise of like reflecting on how you're feeling, what's coming to you, that will strengthen it so that eventually you get to that point where you're like, I need to sit at this bar table. I don't know why. I just need to sit there. Eventually you get to that part, but you do have to start with that fundamental layer of just getting really grounded and getting connected to the work that you're doing in this world. So excellent advice, Hannah.
And don't be afraid to put it in your schedule. I mean, as you're learning to listen to your intuition, like Violet mentioned, it might not come naturally. You might not just know like, oh, that's a feeling of my intuition telling me something. So as I've started to listen to mine, I've had to put my, for me, it's my business plan reviews, put them into my schedule so I can sit down and do that. Otherwise it does sometimes get lost in the hustle. So that's a great point there, Violet.
Love that. I muted myself by accident. Let's go to Andrea. So what is your number one tip, action step for that femme that's really having a hard time connecting the intuition part with business?
Okay, I just wanted to back it up 1 second and just make sure that everyone understands what intuition is, if that's okay, because we hear the word all the time, but I know from coaching people, a lot of people don't really know what it means fully. And I just wanted to give a little definition that it is, like the girl said, an instinct, a sixth sense, a feeling, a gut feeling. I feel like it's an internal compass. I call it the GPS of your soul. It's like everyone has it, but people don't tap into it. And it's so powerful in business to tap into your intuition that nowadays it's one of the tools, not just data and statistics, but your intuition, how you feel, because that's going to jumpstart you to the front of the line a lot quicker if you feel that. It's like, I just feel like it's a little gift God gave us to have this internal compass to let us know what to do. But so many people are afraid to listen to it. And so I always tell people you can strengthen that muscle. It's a skill that you can practice. We're not all naturally born with it that works so well. It's been a gift of mine always. But you can work on that, and working on that intuition, I think, is really great by meditating and clearing your mind, all the clutter, and journaling. So it was kind of like a tip, journaling or writing to kind of brain dump all the noise and nonsense that's going in your life. Because once that's out of the way, then we could reflect and really think what we're feeling and what's going on. It gives you a clearer clarity in your mind to get into that. And it's so useful in business to have intuition, because it makes you a true business leader. As a woman and a business owner myself, I don't have to go to tons of people to ask their advice, because my own intuition is my partner, is my best friend, is my compass to get me there so much quicker. And like Hannah said, she didn't tap into that sooner. It took a little later, but she put some other, logical steps in place. And when you use logic with instinct, intuition together, I think it's a fabulous way to live your purpose and your passion, because you already know the answers. Like with coaching, we say all answers are within. And as a coach, we just ask the empowering questions to get people there. And what we're really doing is pulling out what's already in them, because it's, so the sooner you can tap into that and learn about your intuition, I think makes your business, your passion, and your success so much quicker and faster.
Love that. And I was thinking, as I was listening to you, so years and years and years ago, maybe 10 years ago, we were looking at hiring someone to do our first website. And we met with a group of guys here in Miami who raved about their work. They were like, oh, we do like the Miami Heat and we do this website and that website. And something in my stomach was like, this just doesn't feel right. So I kind of paused on that. And the next evening, I went to a little networking event that a friend of mine hosted. And I was sitting next to a woman who owns a huge real estate firm here. And she had hired that company and they had botched up and pretty much taken her money, like stolen from her. And she shared that story with me as we're sitting around this, like kind of making s'mores in this party. And I was like, oh my gosh. So sometimes the intuition can actually help you as well in these decisions that would have not been favorable to your brand or to your pocketbook. So there's also that aspect of like following your intuition in that direction, not only leading you into great places, but also preventing you from getting into situations that can be very harmful financially or for your business. So I wanted to throw that in there. It just came to me. So if you're pausing on some sort of hire that you're going through, like think it out and look to see like what's going on.
That's how I feel. It prevents, some disasters. And if you have that feeling like something doesn't feel right, don't sit there and say yes. Right. Just, I'll have to think of that. Let me get back with you. Exactly. It's right in there. It's like amazing when you tap into that, where it takes you, positive and stops you from disasters too.
Absolutely. Hannah, what is your final advice and how can femmes find you, learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
I apologize. My internet just froze up a little bit. So if I'm choppy, let me know and I can let Andrea go first.
You're good so far. It's a little blurry, but you're good so far. Okay,
perfect. So you can find me at www.edwardjones.com/Hannah-Wilson. From there, it'll connect out to reaching out to me via email, my social media pages. You can find it all there. It's a great landing page for you. And my final advice would really be to not be afraid to embrace doing things differently. Stepping outside of your comfort zone and stepping outside of maybe the typical path or the playbook of others can bring a lot of joy into your life. So listen to your intuition, follow your gut, and don't be afraid to create your own path.
Love it. Thank you so much, Hannah. And now you're back and super clear. So that path. Andrea, your final advice and how can femmes find you to learn more about the work you're doing in this world?
I think my final advice would be to have self-awareness that there's hints all around you, that your intuition is there by your side as your compass, and you can actually even log and track your intuition and then see how it pans out. And I say that just so people that aren't as confident to just jump in, take that leap of faith and have that confidence, they can build it up. Because some people go, that sounds good for you, but I'm not that, risky. And so I say, well, train yourself by kind of tracking yourself. So my advice would be to be very aware, self-awareness, track what you thought you would have done, even if you didn't do it, and see how it panned out, or if you did, how it panned out. And you'll slowly build that confidence that you too can be a great intuition reader of yourself. And you can find me at coachwithandrea.com or coachwithandrea@gmail.com, or right here at the FemCity directory where we are today. And what else did you need to know?
That's it. That is it. You reminded me, we have a great class for those that do want to start taking on journaling. We have a great class in the FemCity portal that Susan Salter, another one of our FemCity Global members, taught. It's amazing. I started journaling because of her class, and we also have more classes on intuition. So if you like this conversation, you want to learn a little bit more, head over to our members portal. You can search by intuition or search by journaling, and we have some classes there for you that are included in our membership. Thank you so much, Hannah and Andrea, for joining me today. This was wonderful. And for those that are watching in the replay, let us know how these tips helped you. We'd love to hear your success stories. We'd love to hear how you've taken on intuition in business so we can cheer you on. And we will be back here next Monday, 12 p.m. Eastern time for our next conversation. Until then, we wish you a great week. Bye.
Bye. Thank you.
Thanks, Violet.